Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way Forward. The Viktoria Plzen versus Manchester United Europa League preview. The Red Devils travel to the Doosan Arena in the Czech Republic on Thursday, the 12th of December in the Europa League, of course. Look at Manchester United are coming into this game with 2 defeats on the trot. We don't want to make it 3 or 4 because I think every game now up until the new year, or up until the end of the season, let's be really blunt. But on this side of Christmas, it's every game is going to be a tough one. Every game is a must win. For Manchester United, it feels like everything's a must win at this moment in time. And as you can see beside me, there will be a live watch long once again on Thursday. It's an earlier time kickoff. Usually you get a 9 o'clock, but it's going to be a 5:45 kickoff time in the Czech Republic for Viktoria Plzen and Manchester United. So do join us for the watch long, 5:30 p.m. for the team news and of course the live watch along. Hopefully it's a good one because the last 2 games haven't been great in terms of football and watch-alongs and commentaries. But let's hope we can get the win on Thursday because I think it's a must-win in terms of we need to win. We have Manchester City on Sunday. We need a bit of confidence for that as well. And we also need to win in the Europa League if we want to push up the table. Both sides, funny enough, I'm just looking at the group here, are unbeaten in the Europa League. So Manchester United are unbeaten, and so are Viktoria Plzen in the Europa League. Where are we? We're 12th and they are 13th. So yeah, if Viktoria Plzen beat us, they can overtake us and maybe get into the top 9. I think it is. So do join us for the watch long and do like the video, comment and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts for the upcoming game. Do you think we have to win? What team do you think Ruben Am will go? Will he rotate? Will he go still a strong team with a big game on Sunday? Again, it's up to you to let us know in the comments. For my predicted 11, I don't think many people are going to agree with it. But okay, we're here to have a laugh, aren't we? So yeah. I just want to talk for the next 2-3 minutes. I've seen a bit of news that Manchester United are open to selling Marcus Rashford. I thought I'd speak about it briefly. I'm not going to speak about it too much because I'm sure we'll hear more about it maybe, or it may just be one of them news that happened. You heard about it and then nothing will ever happen. It's not the first time. Look, it's interesting if we were to sell Marcus Rashford. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'll talk about it for the next minute or two, and that is that because I can see the time up above. And once it hits 4 or 5, I'm gonna move on before we get stuck into the preview. Look, Rashford hasn't been having. I wouldn't say he hasn't been having a great season so far. Last season it was poor. This season it's been poor. He just doesn't seem himself. He doesn't look focused. He doesn't look like he's like. Pardon the pun. He doesn't look like he's in the game. He doesn't look like he's in the game at Manchester United. And you're worried because when Marcus Rashford is on it, he's brilliant. And we've seen that in Ten Hag's 4th season. When Rashford performs and he's up to it and he's in the game and he's focused, he's unstoppable. He is unstoppable. Rashford last season and so far this season he just doesn't. You know what it is? I'm sure he loves football. I'm sure he loves Manchester United. But it looks like he fell out of love with the game. It really does look like he fell in love with the game. If we were to sell him, I doubt we'd get to 80s, 90s, 100 million, 70 millions for him. And that's just because of form. That's just because of his form at this moment in time. Maybe if Rashford was still performing like he was 2 seasons ago, maybe there's a chance. I doubt we'd get 100 million or 90 million from him, but maybe there's a chance you get a fair amount from him. But this time around, it'd be interesting to see. Some fans want Rashford to go. Me, to be honest with you, I don't know. I really do like Marcus Rashford. And it's a shame that he's not performing and he just doesn't seem himself. He looks like he fell out of love with the game. It really, really does. I think confidence-wise, flat, everything flat. He just doesn't. The confidence of Marcus Rashford looks on 0, and it's a shame. It is a shame. But look, let us know what you think of Rashford. Do you think we'll sell him? Do you think it's just going to be, nothing will ever happen and we won't sell him? Honestly, I look at it and I don't think we'll sell him. I really don't. I think it's one of these sort of news again that you heard about and nothing will happen. And watch him perform now for the next few games. So just watch. You just watch it. But look, time is up. Let's move into the preview. So here is Manchester United's previous 5 games. So here's our last 5. Here's our form. Doesn't look as great as it did 2 games ago. I'll be honest, it didn't. But we drew 1-1 against Ipswich. We beat Bodo Glimt 3-2. We beat Everton 4-0. We lost 2-0 against Arsenal. We lost against Nottingham Forest 3-2. So our last 5 games, as you can see below, we have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. Look at how we performed to the brilliance in them last 5 games. No. Everton are Everton. They're shit. We played well. But you look at the first half. We look at before we scored, let's just say. Everton were the better side. They actually were having a lot of joy in our end of the pitch. And some would say if that was another team, if that was a Liverpool, an Arsenal, a Chelsea, a Man City even, they probably would have beaten us in the first half. Maybe. We haven't, look, what I'm going to say is right, we've seen glimpses of I see what I do see what Arm's trying to do at Manchester United. I really, really do. And I think if he didn't win a step before the Arsenal and Forest loss, I think he's starting to sense reality with the squad. I think he's sort of a reality check for him, thinking, right, some of these players aren't good enough. And he did say, I think it was before we played Arsenal. It was after the Everton game, I think, a storm was coming. Have we had that storm yet? Well, look, what storm? What's his sort of storm? Getting absolutely blown out of the park in terms of results or performances? Like what we're going with? Is it both? Look, we all know as Manchester United fans, some of these players aren't good enough. I'm going to give Amram a whole lot of his tenure at Manchester United. If he's here for the next 50 years, I'm going to give him time. If it takes us 50 years to get back to the top, something's fucking going on. But I do see what I know we're 5 games in at Ruben Amorim. It actually feels less, to be honest, but we're 5 games in at Ruben Amorim. And to be honest with you, like I say, and I probably sound like a broken record now, I really do see what he's trying to do. The football is exciting. It's better than it was. It's not like we can be, you're having a manager bounce. We are not having a manager bounce. We didn't have it with Rude. I know we were unbeaten with Rude. It was 4 or 5 games in charge or whatever it was. But Ruben, he's the boss. He's the coach. He's the manager. Some of these players have been here before. They know they've thrown numerous managers under the bus since their time at the club. And Ruben, I don't think should be a manager should be thrown under the bus because he looks like he means business. He really, really does. And I've spoken to my friends about it. I like the way if he doesn't like what he says, he's making changes. He's shouting. He's demanding players to do this, do that. Or like I said, he's making changes. I like the way he's quick with his things. They may not work, but he's trying. God loves a try. And I love a try. And he's trying. And I like what he's doing. And I actually am very hopeful. I know we lost our last 2 games. And, we're never going to see it. You're never going to see Amorim ball in the first 5 games. Everyone knows that. Everyone obviously knows that. I don't have to say, are you stupid? Everyone knows that. But what I do want to see is these players actually copping on and playing a bit of ball. Because Ruben, I feel like as a manager that he has no favourites. We've witnessed that especially so far at his time at Manchester United. He hasn't got favourites. And don't give me this Bruno shit. Don't give me that crap. Don't. If you're going to give me that crap, you're gone. Good luck and thanks. As Vita's saying, as they say. He has no favourites. And the style of play, we've seen a sport and that's good. We know that if eventually these players get used to the style of play, or the players he brings in gets used to the style of play along with the players we have, we could be laughing. I don't want him to change his formation. I want him to stick with the 3-4-3. He shouldn't have to. We brought him in for the exact reason. He was successful at sport with 3-4-3. He has a bit of an aura about him. He doesn't give a shit. He gets stuck in and he cares and he means business. You don't have to change a 3-4-3 for a 4-2-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-5-2. You don't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. You see some managers do. They come in and they're like, oh my God. Look, Ten Hag, for example. This style of play he had at Ajax, he couldn't play that at Manchester United. And he didn't show that he could. Ruben, give it time. the man may be bald by Christmas, but give the man time. That's what I want to say. No one's been ruling out by any stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised if people start wanting him out. And look, it's still early doors. But trust me, I do see what he says, and I'm a big, big fan of Ruben ever since he's came in. I really, really am. But look, back to our form. And look, you look at the results there as well. I think top 4 is looking very unlikely. I think our only hope of playing the Champions League next season is if we win the Europa League. It's as simple as that. I mean, we're 13th in the Premier League with 19 points. We're 4 points behind Fulham, who are 10th place. We have Manchester City next. Yeah, look, we can get a Man City. It's not the Man City Manchester Derby preview, but we can actually. I think we could get something Man City, because City are vulnerable. It's something we could get at. Here's hoping, depending on how Thursday goes against Viktoria Plzen and how City's game go against Juventus. But look, we should definitely win our game. But City, we can get at them. I think we could get a point or 3. I'm getting giddy. I know I am. But seriously, you never know. They got a draw at Palace and they didn't play well. Palace maybe should have won that game. That's what I look at. But yeah, I do think top 4 is looking very, very unlikely. If we do win this game, we have 12 points, 2 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses, a goal difference of 3. Viktoria Plzen are 13, 5 games played, 2 victories, 3 draws, 0 losses with a goal difference of 2. 9 points. So if we win this game, we could possibly go into the top 8. Depending on how Rangers, Lyon, Ajax, Anderlecht, Galatasaray, Frankfurt, Electric Club, Lazio do, we can. We really, really can. And we should expect that of ourselves. We shouldn't have to be looking at the knockout phase, playoff places. Top 8 straight to the round 16 is what we should be looking for. And look, we have Viktoria Plzen, Rangers, and FCSB. We can get at them. Them 3 games, no disrespect, should be very winnable for Manchester United. They should. They should. And I think we will. But look, you never know. You never know, Manchester United. You just never know. But like I say, I think the confidence probably won't be as high as it was with the players because of the last 2 defeats. We need to improve on our corners. I think we're very vulnerable at them. Wouldn't be surprised if Viktoria Plzen are practicing on set pieces, free kicks and whatnot, and corner kicks because we're vulnerable at defending and taking them. I look at a few of the players so far since Rubens. Even before Rubens came in, Dalot hasn't been performing. Rashford, obviously. Bruno hasn't been his brilliant best. Ugarte has been solid. Leach, I always say Leach. Leach is a good player. He puts in his shit, but I don't think it's the Leach we've seen. It's a different Leach to when he got injured. It really, really is. Dele sort of got cut out against Forest. Yoro's done well since he came back. It's the second game back, so his 3rd game back, sorry. So you can't be too critical of him. Mazraoui's been solid as a rock. Rasmus and Xerxes, they're hot and cold, let's be blunt. Garnacho, hot and cold, but look, he's only 20. Malassia's only back, so we've seen he done well against Malassia. He done well against Saka. Didn't do well against Bodo Glimt, but he done well against Saka at the Emirates, even though we lost 45 minutes of football he played. Didn't do too shabby. Onan, don't know what happened to him against Forest. The last season's Onana came back, so hopefully we don't see him again. Hopefully he is in the bin for good. But yeah, look, we should have more than enough to beat this Viktoria Plzen side, but I don't think we're going to steamroll them. I do not think we're going to steamroll Viktoria Plzen. I just don't, and I hope we do. I hope we do, but I just don't think we will. But okay, let's jump in and let's talk about Viktoria Plzen fairly quickly. So, Viktoria Plzen are second in the Czech First League with 40 points. They have only lost 2 games in 18 games in their league, 12 victories and a goal difference of 18. Slavia Praha are top, 10 points ahead of them. But here, I'm going to try and pronounce the teams that they played as best I can. So I do apologise if I'm offending any Czech Republicans out there. Please, I hope you understand. So, Radek Kralov, they beat them 1-0. They beat Dynamo Kiev 2-1. They beat Jablonek 3-2. They drew 1 against Teplice, and they beat Karvina 2-1. So, in the last 5 games, 4 wins, 1 draw, and 0 losses. So, they're unbeaten in the last 5. They're unbeaten in the Europa League, and they've only lost 2 games in the Czech First League. So, looking at Viktoria Plzen, they're not a team that are used to losing. It's at their place as well, so the fans will be behind them. I'm sure it'll be a loud atmosphere, and I think we need to shut that out. A lot of teams who, we've seen it numerous times. Manchester United, when they travel to these places, the fans are behind the team. The atmosphere is loud, and we need to deal with that, especially if we concede first. I wouldn't be surprised if we do concede first, but we need to deal with that. I think the top goal scorer is Selk. I'm going to have a look at the top goal scorer, so I hope I'm not Sulk with 8 goals. I think that's Sulk with 8 goals in all competitions. 10 goals in all competitions. Pavel Sulk. They actually have someone who used to play for Burnley. Vidra, I think his name was. Vidra used to play for Burnley. So again, there's an old name I'm sure many people remember. I think it was 2015 he played for Burnley. I don't know. It was a long time ago anyways, when Vidra played for Burnley. So now he plays for Viktoria Plzen. Can Viktoria Plzen shock us? I'm not going to sit here and say yes or no, because I don't watch them. Looking at their form and all that, and anyways, they look like they are going to fancy their chances. That's all I can say. How they beat us, how good at their set pieces. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. But yeah, Vidra could be a danger man for them. Sulk could be a danger man for them. Now let's see what happens. Look, I'm sure it'll be an interesting game. This is the joys of playing teams like Viktoria Plzen in the Europa League. They've went to a few places in the European games this season, last season, and they got good wins. They got some good victories up their sleeve. Maybe they can do it again. I mean, let's see how they done in their last Europa League games. If my laptop decides to play ball. Okay, obviously it doesn't want to play ball with me, so okay, awkward. It doesn't want to play ball. It just doesn't want to play ball. And you can see that really pisses me off. It's just taking the piss. So let me do that. But look, they're unbeaten, that's all I know. And they're in the same league as us, in the same sort of thing as us. And we have Porto, we have Fenerbahce, we have Twente, we have FCSB, we have Rangers, we have, I think that's it, Bodo Glimt. So look, they're not doing too bad if they're unbeaten. That's how I look at it. But look, I'm gonna announce me predict 11, and look, you may disagree with me, and that's totally fine. I'm looking at the Manchester Derby on Sunday. This is also a must-win game, and we can't write off Bodo Glimt by any stretch. But I do think that they're a team that we can't write off, because it's Manchester United at the end of the day. But here's my predicted 11. I was debating putting Boyan Dare in, but I just don't think he'll start Boyan Dare, to be honest with you. So I'm going to have Onana in net, a back four, Jesus Christ, a back three of Mazraoui, Maguire, and Euro. I was debating on putting Leach in there, but I'm looking forwards. I know I should be looking at Viktoria Plzen, but I'm looking forward to the derby against City, which is going to be another must-win game for the points. This is about, I think every game now is a must-win game for Manchester United, not just this side of Christmas, but the opposite side and next year as well, next season, next year. So I'll go rest Leach. Nasraoui can play anywhere. He can play in goal if you want. He can play striker if you want. He can play anywhere. He can be the manager if you want. He can be player manager, for Jesus Christ. So that's what I'll go with. Maguire's obviously back. He came on against... played against Arsenal, came on against Nottingham Forest, so he's well to go. Play Euro, get the minutes up his sleeve. He's a young lad. he can play. He can play minutes. Play 60, 70 minutes and then take him off maybe. Then I'm going to go Malacia left wing back, Dallo right wing back. I do look. We may see Anthony play right wing back. This predict 11 changed so many times. I was going to go Malacia and Anthony. I was going to go Dallo and Anthony. I was going to go Malacia and Mazraoui. This is also a good thing about Amram and his style of play and all that. And anyways, and the players that it's hard. It gives you a bit of a headache, and it's a headache you can't complain because I feel like with Ten Hag you sort of knew right. This is the team he's going to go with, or thereabouts. Whereas Ruben, you don't know what he's going to go with. You just know that Bruno and Anna and Mazraoui may start. That simple as that. So yeah. So we go Mainu and Mount. Look, it could be Mount. It could be. I just think play Mount. I was going to say drop Bruno, but look, we're not the best with Bruno, but we're even worse without him. And that game against Forest in the last 10, 15 minutes or so proved that. Point proven, Ruben. Good man yourself. Look, it could be Ericsson, Casemiro, but I'm just thinking of the legs. I wouldn't play Ugarte because I'm looking at City as well. I know we should be looking at this game, but we're not. It's not like we're home. You're going to have to come back. So, there's not much gap. There's not a big gap between Thursday and Sunday. So, like I said, I'm looking ahead. Not look. You have to. Ruben's the manager. I know he says he thinks about the game, but you also have to think of the games ahead as well. Because if he goes out there, plays the full team for 60, 70 minutes, then you're like, okay, we're going to be playing City on Sunday, which is going to be high intensity. It's another away game. It's going to be tough. We're going to have to run the legs off ourselves. So I'll go Mount and Mainu. Let's see what happens. Then I'm going to go Rashford, Bruno, and Xerxes. That's the team I'm going to go with. And score prediction. I was going to go 3, but I said, look, we'll go 2 on Manchester United. I think we'll dominate possession. I think we'll have a lot of the ball, a lot of shots. But I think Viktoria Plzen will sit back, try and be using the counter. I do think they'll score first, weirdly enough. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I think they'll score another set piece or a penalty. I'm just getting a penalty. And Vidra scores. I'm just getting that sort of vibe. I don't know why, but I think Vidra scores first. For us, look, it's mad because news goes up about Manchester United possibly open to sell Rashford. I think he scores. And I think Xerxes. Rashford and Xerxes. Coincidental, but I wouldn't be surprised. This is one of them games you look back on and say, well, that was a weird game. I'm glad we got the win, but that was a very weird game. Early kickoffs in the Europa League or Champions League are always weird games, and this is going to be another one of those games. But look, let us know what you think if we predict 11. I may be wrong, I may be right. If I'm right, happy days. But is it the team I'd go with? No, it's not. But it's a team, it's a predicted 11. So yeah, my preferred 11 for this game would be Onana. The back three would definitely say the same. I'd have the back three. I'd probably go Liche, Maguire, Euro. I'd go Dallo. I'd go Mazraoui right wing back. I'd stick to Malacia left wing back. I'd go Mainu and Ericsson. I actually would. And I'd go Garnacho, Bruno, and Rasmus. But I don't think that's what I'll do. I'm looking ahead, so yeah. But look, this has been the Viktoria Plzen versus Manchester United Europa League preview. Like I said, please do join us for the watch along on Wednesday or Thursday from 5:30 p.m. Looking forward to it. Like the video, comments, predictions, subscribe, follow our social links in the description. It feels like we're doing videos every single day because this game's coming thick and fast. There's only 4 games until Christmas. Pleasant, City, Tottenham, Bournemouth. A lot of big games. A lot of games to look forward to, and I hope Manchester United can get the win to make us look forward to it even more. Thanks, buddy, for watching, and I'll speak to you all on the next one. Come on, let's get the win. Speak to you all next one, Reds. Thanks for watching.